Okie Show. Welcome to the Okie Show, the podcast that dives into the finer details of navigating Oklahoma's film and music industries. I'm going to shorten it someday. It's going to happen.
It sounds good. I like it. I still think it flows.
You need video podcasts, though, because just the way
I know. The intensity.
That's
force it out.
The throbbing vein.
That's great.
Yeah.
But I'm joined in the studio. This is Brian.
I'm Kelly.
And we have our special other co-host, guest co-host, Mrs. Laney.
Sexy one.
It's important. I feel important.
You are.
My part is significant.
Vital.
Finally.
And then we also have our wonderful married couple, film industry pros, Mr. Jeremy and Mrs. Shelly Dappolito. Thank you guys for coming.
Hi.
So, Kelly, you're going to be
Shelly.
kind of the fifth wheel today.
I know, but you know what? I'm married. I feel like,
We're all married
we're all
here.
married,
It
so I'm
happens.
included.
Yeah.
Fifth wheel, I've been there, but
Well, see, the nice thing, though, is that, like, Jeremy and Shelly, you both have a kiddo, and then Kelly, you have two.
Yes.
Lainey and I do not have any. We have two dogs, and that's pretty much it. So,
And that's how it's going to stay.
right. So whenever we get to the kid portion of this, Lainey and I are just going to leave.
I was going to say.
And then Kelly, you guys
this
just
is
go.
going to be Brian and
You're going to go
birth
tweet
control.
pictures of your dogs while we're
Yeah.
talking
Right, yeah,
about
exactly.
kids.
Yeah.
They
So for
poop
those of-
outside.
For you listeners, you're wondering, okay, they're talking married couples, kids, and all this kind of stuff. Today's topic is going to be way different than most of the other topics that we've done. Most of the time we talk about like the technical side of cinematography and like what's it like to be a grip and electric and all that. Today, specifically, we are talking about what's it like to be in a relationship and also a film professional. Ooh, how do we balance that between freelance life and having family? Because
Right.
that's kind of a best kept secret. It's freaking hard.
Delicately.
Or at least it's complicated. So let's just dive right into this. Can you, well, first of all, introduce us to yourselves? Like, tell us about what you both do in the industry.
Well, I'm Shelly, the wife, and I do hair. I've done it for about 9 years in film and 17 years. Is that
God.
right? Through from high school. Yeah, 17 years. Wow, that's crazy.
Feel old, don't you?
I know. I feel.
I
really
do.
old. I was like, that cannot be right.
Feel-
It's got to be like 12. But no, it's 17 years that I've done hair, and I love doing hair for film and TV and commercials and.
And we have a caller on line 1 who's got a
They're
question
just
about
very
hair
interested
and
in,
makeup.
can you
Oh.
do my hair? Because it's bad. And I need some hair done right
I
now.
have a shop. I can totally do hair.
I was going to say, you do also have a shop, right?
I do have a shop. I own a shop in Norman on Campus Corner. It's called The Barbery, and I've owned it for about 10 years, 7 years now. I've worked there for 10 years.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, just The
That's
Barbery.
Go there.
Everybody
Oh, yeah.
on Campus Corner. But it's been something that I've wanted to do since I was 12 years old. And I just can't say enough about how much I love that we have the opportunity in Oklahoma to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought that was possible. I was like, okay, I'm either going to do hair in a salon or I'm going to go to LA or New York or wherever and do it for films and TV. But to be able to be here around my family, around my friends, have a salon, and get to work in movies is
Right.
just amazing. It just
Thank you, rebate program.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
Thank you,
Rebate program.
Exactly. And I feel so happy about all of it, and I hope it continues.
And Jeremy, what do you do?
I'm a grip, so if there are more F words than usual, that's why. Yeah,
Because hairstylists are classy.
super. Because that's like the word for us.
I'm not going to think of you saying that every time I say it.
So yeah, no, it comes out but in my head it's so yeah, I'm a grip. It's basically lighting, rigging. I don't know how much your audience knows about the different departments.
Well, we can, like, why don't you skim through that? Because there's a big difference between a grip and an electric.
So basically, the lighting department is broken down into two sub-departments, grips and electrics. We like to say the electrics put up the lights, the grips make them pretty.
Right.
Because that's really what it is. The electrics just put up lights. Any kind of shape, any kind of change to the light happens on the grip side. We put it all on stands and make shadows and diffuse so it's nice and pretty so that the girls don't look old. Not that you guys look old. Anyway,
Never.
we just make sure you look 25 years younger than you are.
Because that's
We
what
also-
Hollywood demands, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
My favorite is seeing what I like to call gripnology, which is whenever you guys come up with, you just like MacGyver these weird freaking rigs that like make it look like the train's moving past all this stuff, like with the lights and it's
So that's the fun part of the job. The manipulating the lights is the job. The fun is the rigging. Whenever they go, you know what? It'd be great if we could put a camera in the top of that tree. And we just go, you know what? It could be like 10 minutes, yeah. Yeah. Right. And then you go to the truck and you just get to just dig around in the toy box, and it's totally. I heard a great quote from somebody who had read an article online that was like different departments, film departments, and like what if you like to do math, be in the camera department.
Right.
If you like to solve puzzles, be a grip. And that's absolutely what it is, because they need you have to reverse engineer so much stuff because they're like, we got to do that, and you're just like, well, all right, let me go dig around in my toy box for a few minutes, and we'll do it. And it's some of the prettiest stuff and some of the most fun stuff is that. So that's
be the most hated person on set. Be in sound department.
Oh yeah. I got some great jokes about that, but that's a whole other podcast.
That's a new episode.
That's an hour and a half by itself.
Well, don't you also call it the light side and the dark side?
Yeah, the light side and the dark side. Yeah. Come to the dark side. We have cookies is the popular quote, but we don't really have cookies. We have beer. It's mostly what we have. We got a cooler. We got a cooler with beer and like a sack of Taco Bell hot sauce a lot of times.
So what I love about you guys is that you both work in two completely different departments, but you're also married, and you sometimes work on sets together, and sometimes you're working on two completely different sets at the same time, and you're both kind of all over the place. So that's why we had you guys here, because we're going to talk about how the hell do you deal with that. So first of all, to kind of paint a picture, to kind of lay out the landscape, can you walk us through just like a typical week on when you're working full-time on a feature film set?
Wow. Okay, so there was pre-Eliza and post-Eliza.
Eliza's our child. It's
our
not a cat. It's a human.
It's a 2-year-old daughter who is amazing. But pre-Eliza, it really wasn't that difficult, I guess.
A lot of carpooling.
No, yeah. We just we get to ride together and save money on gas. That was amazing. Now it's
we
a
should
whole...
do that, Lainey.
Yeah.
We
And take your little
we should get
hatchback.
on that.
I like my
Depends on,
individual.
what call time is and what wrap time is going to be. That was our biggest dilemma at that point, because sometimes as a hairstylist, I had to be there really early to get the actors ready by the time camera was ready and lighting was ready and grip was ready and everybody else was ready, sound.
Yeah, they never wait on grip. It's always sound and hair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, we can ride together today, but not tomorrow because you have an hour pre-call.
And I have a
I'm
3-hour
gonna be-
wrap out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we're not riding together. So that was our biggest, I guess,
Kinda
dilemma.
hurdle then,
Yeah,
yeah.
hurdle at that point. Now it's like, okay, when does a sitter get here, and when can we get home? Like, what is the soonest we can? Who can race home as soon as they call wrap? Drop everything, just get in your car and go home.
Also, a huge part of the credit to us being able to still maintain our jobs with the child goes to our amazing nanny, Morgan, who really we could not do it without.
No,
She
the last
is
two
just
films.
available. She makes herself available all the time. She'll stay the night. She'll
awesome.
just do whatever. She'll bring her up to set so we can see her at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she really is probably the only reason that we can still do it.
Yeah.
We don't have to alternate. You work this film and I work the
Yeah.
next film so that one of us can stay home.
We do have family and friends that are around and other sitters that can help, but they're not available for that entire time.
Like they have certain, like they still have jobs.
they have
Or yeah,
obligations,
exactly.
And yeah.
And you could cobble together some crazy schedule, but it's so much easier to just be like, okay, Morgan's got her. And we know she's got her all week. She knows our schedule. We know that she's going to be there, and the kid
I
loves
was just say
her.
consistency
so-
for her is probably
it's huge, yeah.
fantastic.
That
Just
was
knowing who it
giant.
is,
And
feeling
especially when we're
comfortable.
gone, it's not like a 9 to 5 job. We're gone
Yeah.
14, 16 hours a day.
Overnight, yeah.
We don't see her for days on end, which is
And
Yeah.
the fact that on
terrible.
one of the last of the few movies that we were on together, we were only a mile from our house, and she could bring her up at lunch. and we would, everyone got to see her.
Yeah.
We got
I
to see her
remember
and
seeing
hang
that,
out with her.
baby.
Yeah. And the director was like playing the piano, and she was dancing on a little tiny piano stage, and just got to like hang out with us, and we got to see her, and it was a huge morale booster. Because it was kind of a darker film.
Oh, yeah.
So
Was it Gosnell?
Gosnell, yeah.
So it was a happy little time in the middle of this dark day.
Yeah.
Well, and then on Scent, because the Scent of Raining Lightning, the second movie we did last fall, the schedule would start the beginning of the week at like 8 a.m. calls, and we'd basically be in nights by the end of the week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was really tough, but it was kind of cool because we'd get to hang out with her, at least the like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, get to hang out with her for a couple hours before we went to work because she's up and, the nanny would be gone and we'd be able to still see her for a little while. And then Saturday morning, get home around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning and basically send her to bed. And I would go sit on the couch for like, just kind of zen out for about a half hour and just wait for that cry to
I was
happen.
gonna say, I wonder, like,
And
you
then
guys
just-
the trade-off has to be like perfectly
And
timed.
then-
Now, even though
yeah.
even
Even
though
still,
we're on like
it's-
normal hours, it's like one day he gets up at 7:15, the next day I get up at 7:15.
Right, because
and so
they
we
don't
get that
care
extra
if you're
45
sick or
minutes
tired
nap.
or whatever. Babies are like, I'm awake now. Day is started, and you need to get me some juice.
And that's
Yeah.
so something
Milk.
I cannot
Yeah.
get my
Milk.
friends
Like-
without kids to wrap their heads around is like she's gonna wake up at 7:30 no matter
It
what
does
I
not
do.
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Who cares if I went out the night before?
And so
She does not care.
Yeah.
so I would say like one of the bigger differences, it's not very professionally, but personally is like, okay, I woke up with her today. That means I can go out tonight because it's going to be her morning tomorrow morning to wake up. So I can sleep till 9, which is like, that's a coup.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
It's a huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
So that actually also kind of like factors into the job whenever like I will sometimes have like we'll wrap at 9, but I will have 3 hours of work after wrap to pack the truck and to get everything organized, and we've got to move everything. So it's just like it takes a lot of time to get our huge truck.
Such a I feel so spoiled compared to you guys.
Oh
Do you
well,
just wrap
you
out
are.
your stuff?
Oh, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I
I
just-
don't know what your rep out is.
there's a reason I
I
call.
put my pole away and then drive home.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
like
you got to
every
put your
other
pole
day.
away first.
Gotta-
Can't drive
yeah, you should
drive home with your pole out.
You should get to work
trouble.
and put your polo away.
When I hit set, that's when the pole comes out.
Pole is out.
See, that's funny because
Roll out
at
with
my
your
job,
pole
I
out.
just leave the pole there.
Oh,
See what I did there?
oh, where's the button?
Yeah, that was the wrong one.
Thank you.
Close. That was close.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
No, I do.
Sound
I
effect
call.
machine.
I hope he's listening. I do call Michael Clardy half day for a reason.
Oh,
You
you're right.
sound guys, a lot of times you'll roll in 3 hours after call and roll out 4 hours
Yeah.
before we're all done. But
I
I know what department I'm in. I know what my days are like. Like
Right.
I have no illusions about what is going to happen to me at work today. Like,
Yeah.
So, what are some of the challenges that you guys face working in film and maintaining a family? Like, we'll talk pre-baby first.
the biggest thing for me was not having a steady paycheck. I mean, you get, and especially commercials are a different animal than features in that you do a job and you're just like, dude, I just worked a solid week. Like that's a huge paycheck.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to see it for 30 to 90 days. So that took a lot of getting used to. That was the biggest like
That's 90
hurdle for me.
business days.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna
To layman.
3
Yeah.
months
Yeah.
from now, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Best case scenario, a month.
Yeah.
And so getting that kind of like staggering nonsense lined up was tricky.
Yeah. That's a hard adjustment, like especially when you finally make the leap into full-time freelance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
God.
That leap of faith.
Right.
Oh boy.
You just jump off.
Yep. Just like the
Just
end of.
stick your leg out.
Yep, and
Take a
just
deep
lean
breath
forward.
and then, get caught by surprise. Oh,
And when you land, okay, I'm gonna
invisible
put
bridge is there.
put some pebbles on this so I remember this is here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's like to jump into freelance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and luckily I do have my shop, and I
Safety net.
yeah, and I exactly. Well, and
Absolutely.
Nice.
Dude,
It
no,
is-
totally.
It
It's
is very nice, and I have amazing customers who wait for me to come back from film.
Oh, that's cool.
They also think it's pretty cool that I get to do hair for films, and they can tell people that they're hairstylists.
She did her. Did you see her hair on that movie?
Yeah,
she
so
did
she
it.
did
She
that
does my
person's
hair, too.
and she does my hair. So
Yeah.
it is nice to have that and to know that my shop is ready to go. They are all amazing, and they do their job. I'm not having to worry about drama at a shop because it's not a big, giant one. There are 5 of us total at the shop. One actually works with us on set a lot of times, Jenny. And
Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny. But the other 3 that are there, they are doing their job. They're opening, they're closing, they're being there, and I'm really lucky to be in that position.
Yeah.
Where I can do that.
That's pretty rare, too.
It's very rare,
Like,
and
that's
I'm
the one
very,
nice thing about hair, wardrobe, and makeup is that
Yeah.
you guys have this crossover stuff.
We do, and it's really neat. as like
Now,
not
here's a
lame
question.
as that sounds, but as like
Did you
nice.
fashion Meryl's hair on Osage County?
I did not.
Well,
that was Roy.
Then why are we
super-
talking?
I know. I was super excited to actually not meet her. I didn't get to actually say hi to her or anything like
terrifying.
that. But
Meryl
I
Streep
got
from
to
Outer
like
Space.
She was so scary.
say hi
Amazing,
to
but terrifying.
JR, who was
Really?
the hair and makeup person for her on that.
Oh,
and he's
wow.
won an Emmy for the Iron Lady.
Oscar.
Oscar. I'm sorry.
Not
Oscar.
just Emmy.
I'm sorry.
Oscar.
Oscar. Yes.
Didn't they create the Oscar category sort of for
No.
him?
No.
You sure?
I don't know.
They should
I
have.
don't know.
They should
I know.
have.
But no, he was so nice, and like I was more nervous to meet him than I was to meet Meryl. And
that's kinda
she
cool.
walked
You are a
by on the first
champion.
day. I was like, oh my god, that was her. That was crazy. And then I'm like, oh my god, there's he. There he is. And so
101 Dalmatians.
It took me almost a whole day to go up and say hi to him, and I was like, hi, I'm from Oklahoma and I do hair. And he was the nicest guy ever. And he was like, you're from here. If you see anything that's wrong, please tell us. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. He's like, no, seriously. We want to get it as accurate to Oklahoma as possible. And you're from here, so you know the styles, you know that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll totally do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to
Actors are a little thin.
There's no way I'm going to do that.
Here's
but
the
he
big
was-
question.
Yes.
Did you meet Benedict Cumberbatch?
I did. You met? I did. He was awesome. But my favorite part of that entire film was having a 5-minute chat with Ewan McGregor about Oklahoma sunrises and sunsets.
You know
And
what?
driving around. I see your face.
I'm crying right now. If
I
you
see
guys
your-
can't
I see
see.
your super jealous face right now.
Well, thanks for
And-
tuning into the Okie show. That was
Pissed out. I need to go
She
take a
dropped the
walk.
mic and walked away.
yeah. There she goes.
But no, that was just amazing. And he had an accent in this movie. I guess it was Oklahoman. I don't know what his accent was, but it was not.
It might have been.
It was Benedict Cumberbatch's version
no,
of an
no.
Oklahoma accent.
No, it's
Ewan
Ewan.
McGregor.
Oh, Ewan
Ewan
McGregor. Okay,
McGregor.
yeah.
It was not.
was-
Because he wasn't
Oklahoman.
Oklahoma
Jedi
native,
Okie?
right?
Right.
I guess, yeah. So whatever his accent was, he was not doing that. He was doing his own personal voice, which I
beautiful-
love.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
I get
Jeremy
lost in
just
his
shakes his
voice.
head.
I get
Yeah.
lost in his voice. I really do. I just
Yeah,
forget.
and he's
Space and
he's
time ceases to
pretty
exist.
amazing. And so that he talked to the background hair person for like 5 minutes about this, and we're just talking about driving through the Oklahoma counties, and that he loves our sunsets and sunrises. I'm like, they are actually amazing.
There's some pretty kick-ass
There's some pretty
sunrises.
Yeah.
amazing
Oklahoma's
ones here,
beautiful.
but in his voice, and like I can't replicate it whatsoever. So I'm not gonna even try.
You should all
But
take
I
a
was
moment
like,
and imagine.
and I'm done. Working
And-
on this film. See you guys later.
Now, on a
And then she
on a
retired.
similar
Tried
note,
forever. And then I came back.
I got to overhear a very compelling conversation between Benedict Cumberbatch and Ewan McGregor about toasted sandwiches.
That
They're
would
both
be
big
the
fans.
Sexiest
Tell us
conversation
the
It's
about
the
toast.
single most sexual conversation I've ever heard about sandwiches.
Toasted sandwiches.
Yeah.
how would
Just,
that
Do you
sound, I
like
wonder?
toasted sandwiches? I really
Let's
do.
imagine.
Yeah. Do you like toasted sandwiches?
I do. Very much.
Yes.
I'm
What do you
putting
like
it
to
in
put
my
on
mouth
your,
right now.
What do you like to put on your toasted sandwich?
What is inside your toast? What is on your toast?
I put cheese in my toasted sandwich.
I like jam.
Jam is all right, but it's not as good as cheese.
Juicy, juicy jam.
Tomatoes.
I'm having a seriously hard flashback. Right now. Like, that is almost spot on. Like that is. Were you guys there?
It's
Stop recording
I don't-
when you're not
yeah.
supposed to be recording.
Man,
watch too much Sherlock,
it's crazy.
So, okay, so that was pre-baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was August Osage County. Now let's fast track to post-baby.
You know, because so I have 2 kids. I've got my 2-year-old son and my 7-month-old daughter, and I am struggling right now to get back into the world. Like, I feel like, I love kids, and it's amazing. Like, having a child is amazing, but to transition back from being in this little hole of this newborn, you just got this baby, and you've got to like do life again. It's such a hard transition. So
That's why I'm here.
yeah.
So
Brian dragged me back
I'm
in. He's
dragging
like, "Hey,
you, kicking
hey
and
Kelly,
screaming."
where have you been for 2.5
Get
years?
out of the house.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to put on pants or a bra.
It doesn't matter. There's not
No.
a moment to lose. We have a show to do.
they can't tell on the radio if you have a
Bri- I
pants
was
or a
gonna say,
bra
Brian,
on.
Brian told
It's
me I
not
didn't
the radio,
have to,
but-
so
Right.
guess what?
Nobody is wearing pants here.
Pants optionless. Or wait, pantless option. You have no option. This is a pantsless show.
You're not wearing pants. I always wear pants, and you can't be on my show. So Eliza was born at the end of June, almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
So that fall, we had 2 movies back to back come through.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, and this was back to your even pre Eliza, us being in a relationship and working in the same industry. If someone gets a call for a show and the other one doesn't, of course you're happy I'm always happy for Shelly to work, and I'm sure it's vice versa, but it's kind of like, oh man, it's kind of a drag. I want to be out there. We are such a tight knit community here. It's like hanging out with friends as much as it is
totally
working,
is.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, so-and-so said this, Grant was so funny on set today. Brian really wasn't that funny, but it's okay. We're used to that. But it's like, I
everybody.
miss Grant. Not so much Brian, but Grant, yeah.
Oh man.
We love you, Brian. We miss you. But no, so there is that sort of not really exclusion, but just having to hear the other person come back and talk about how much fun they had, and you're like, oh yeah, I just kind of sat around the house, or I just went and worked at the shop, or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that to deal with, and then so Eliza was born late June 2 years ago. That fall we had 2 movies back to back. She was still breastfeeding, so
Right,
Shelly
which I'm like, that's a totally separate. We can have our own podcast
Right.
about that. I just
Yeah.
am curious,
Yeah.
whatever.
So Shelly unfortunately had to miss out on those 2.
And that
I
was
did
only
2 movies
3
back to
months
back.
later.
Yeah.
And there was no way I was.
That would
So
actually
and
be kind of an awesome podcast. Is
we
just
should have just a Kelly's Corner podcast.
Yeah, that
of,
could totally
let's
be.
just talk about this
just talk
kind of stuff.
film life, performance life from. A
I thought it was just going to be
It'll
about
be
breastfeeding. I was like,
pretty
just all things breastfeeding.
I don't think I need to be. Brian, let's go to the bar.
Yeah, let's go right downstairs.
So, I mean, it was cool. It actually kind of worked out on my end because the 2 movies that we did back to back were on the road. So I was in hotels for the most part, which was a big time drag. Because I was like, I just got used to having this tiny little person around, and now I don't get to see her or
So you're
my wife.
on the jealous end now, where you're like, "What did you do today?" She sneezed. And It
Yeah.
was so cute, and you missed it.
Yeah. She only
She
barfed
smiled
3
and
times.
said, "I love mommy only."
I don't have a daddy anymore.
Very articulate early being.
She started calling the dog daddy. I don't know. That was actually her first word was the dog's name. The first word that she said consistency was Ludo, the dog's name.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's pretty
awesome.
great. So that was sort of a blessing and a curse because I didn't have to. It sounds terrible, but I didn't have to be there and have the fatherly duties and the waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning when I
Right.
have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to set on time. The hours are insane. And so it sort of worked out for the best that I was gone, but I was gone for 2.5, 3 months during
Dude.
her first fall. And
You're
she
a
was there by
champion.
herself. She was rock star.
You're a
Yeah, she
champion.
definitely.
I did come day play though, because I was like, I need to be away from this baby.
Sure.
I love her so much.
I love her so much,
but
but
I
I
had to
need
be away
space.
for 24 hours. And
But then
it
as soon
worked
as you
out
got
fan-
away, were you just like, oh, I miss her?
No.
Really?
See, and I was-
No. You
is an honest
pretend you
podcast.
say that to be polite, but in reality, you're like, those 2 hours I spent away from you doing whatever it was, I don't care what it was the best.
Yeah, if I had to go run for 2 hours, that was
It
the
was
best
the
2 hours.
best.
I was at the dentist
I
for 2
hate
hours,
running.
but it was awesome
Best dentist trip
because
ever.
you weren't
Yeah.
there.
But I
Remember
love
when
you so
there was
much.
nobody
Yeah.
screaming at me? That was amazing.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get barfed on at all.
And I'm working, and I'm away from home,
I
and
mean,
I'm
babies
texting,
are
send me
fantastic.
pictures, and I'm not getting pictures, and I don't know. I just, you miss her pretty bad for those couple 3 months. So that was a big challenge, that first kind of round of movies, and then we had a pretty slow spring. By the next time the movies came around, she was a year and a half old. So we really kind of were in our groove at that point. We were able to. There is a lot of like sit down on Sunday night and be like, all right, what's your week look like? Like here's what I have.
Scheduling, man.
Here's what I have. Like let's combine, compare. Okay, we need a nanny for this day. We've recently come up with a system where if it's what is it? If I'm working that day, I have to secure the nanny or the babysitter for that day. If she's working that day, she has to secure the nanny or
You guys have a
babysitter for that
system.
day.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
that's working out so
And
far.
we
Does it
combined
just
our
make you so
calendars
excited to
on,
have
like,
kids, Lainey?
We
iPads
could
and stuff.
never have children. We can't pull together the willpower to just take care of the dog, so we are screwed.
I'm actually kind of curious to kind of move it because that's why you're here is to kind of give the
Also, you're
parent
pregnant.
with no
Oh yes,
So you know.
So I'm like 8 months pregnant right now.
right
I look
with
like
a
it.
wiener dog.
It's a burrito, Shelly.
Intervention.
It's a burrito.
Well, like, so she has to deal with me being gone all the time because, like, I just had a shoot that put me out for, like, you know, like I'm gone for a week or two at a time and stuff like that. And, like, so you have to deal with that. And I never do until she started working on Street Outlaws.
Yeah.
And then she was gone for a solid week, just a week. And I was thinking to myself, a week, pff, no problem. I got this. 3 days in, I'm like Howard Hughes, holed up in my house with my beard growing, like just like
How do I
not quite
function?
peeing into bottles to that extent, but like it just felt like I was going insane.
Peeing out the
'Cause
window,
you have
not in the bottles, but out
bathrooms.
the window in the backyard.
Yeah.
onto the dog.
This bitch called me like 3 times a day
Trying
and
to
texted
FaceTime.
me. Yeah, I was just like,
what are you doing? I miss
and I was
you.
dealing with my own crap. That was a
No,
circus
Street
in
Outlaws sounds
itself.
like a really like well put together, really
Oh, yeah,
well-oiled
totally.
machine kind of
Oh,
shit
yeah.
show.
It's pretty much the best show. Yeah, it was so much fun to work on.
No, it's not.
I kind of wish that I just wouldn't have quit. Walked out.
Ah,
I hope
applaud
you're
you, madam.
listening.
legitimate reasons that is a story for another day. That could be a whole podcast
That
in
could
itself.
be a whole podcast in itself. But that show has kind of put me on a hiatus for film. It's going to take
For
me a
now,
little
until I
while to
drag her kicking.
Till you-
probably for the
till
rest
you
of
drag
my
her
life.
by her hair like
Yeah.
a Cro-Magnon
You were
into
on
the
the
cave
last
that is
two,
movies.
right?
I was on Gosnell. I day played on that for a week, and then I day played a couple days and helped out with rap on Scent. So.
But I thought you were on what?
Oh no! I was a groupie on Hellraiser.
Okay,
I just
showed up
I feel
and
like you were
waited to see
there.
what-
Yeah,
I was
she would
there.
show up on
I
set
was
and be
there,
like, "This is the hell room."
I was a groupie on that one too. I only got to play one day, but I was just like, oh my god.
Oh, this is so
Which
cool.
it's probably a good because they offered me a PA position, and unfortunately I wasn't able to take it. But it was probably a good thing because he kept telling me like, "Oh, so this happened today and this happened today." I was like, I would have
Three
barfed in my
ancient
mouth.
naked ladies spit into a guy's
Heard
mouth.
about that
It was
one.
crazy.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Look forward to Hellraiser
happened.
10 coming to theaters hopefully someday.
Spoiler alert.
Coming to VOD
VOD. Yep. Netflix
in
maybe.
the Philippines.
So
Um,
okay, you guys were talking about tummy time.
Oh.
Like I don't know if this necessarily affects the film life stuff, but
No, this
I
is
just think
totally
it's
separate.
a funny story.
It's
A
a
fun
separate. I mean,
anecdote.
tummy time. So
I don't even know what it is.
No, okay,
what is
so
tummy
Oh,
time?
it's
tummy
serious.
time
It's
is
serious
a
business.
quintessential. Like basically every toddler, or not even toddler, infant before they crawl needs to spend a significant amount of time on their stomach building their muscles so they're able to plank up to the crawling position.
And hold their head up.
and
Just
hold
their
their neck up
muscles,
because
too.
that's a huge
And
thing.
ar-
Like being
and
able
arm
to
muscles.
arm muscles, just the whole core.
Legs.
You have to put your baby. You just lay your baby down on their stomach and just let them be. And
This
they,
is technically
would-
whenever the baby is still like Neo, fresh out of the
yeah,
weird
between
like a
goo
few
stuff.
months
zero, as I say, 0 and 6 months, you just do tummy time. Like you just,
Okay.
you know, for like 5, 15, whatever minutes, they fucking hate it.
Well, we would stack bricks on the back of her and make her do like it was serious, like Commando.
So she's
Play
got
like
like
rocky
straight up
music.
like
Yeah,
great
it was
arm
serious. Yeah,
muscles.
she was yoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my next question. Did you ever
Rick.
just put your foot on him?
So you're supposed to work up. You're supposed to work up to like 1 to 2 minutes this day, and then the next day 2 to 3 minutes, and you keep working up. And so we would do that, and we would give her the time, and then she's just shrieking. and
After
you're like,
30 seconds, the screaming
you feel
begins.
So bad. You're like, you don't have to do it anymore. But like, no, you have to do it.
You have to learn how to
You
crawl.
have to. It's part of it.
It's a huge thing.
I'm sure I had to do it.
We
I don't know,
lived
maybe.
across.
I'm scarred by it. I remember.
It's a bad deal.
So we lived across from the park at that time, and she did her tummy time, and then it was time for nap. So we're
screamed
walking
it out.
around, trying to
it
get her
out.
to go to sleep because only movement at that point would make her go
We
to sleep.
drove,
You
yeah.
can't, you
Yeah.
can't just like lay them down when they go to sleep.
No,
and
snooze
you're like,
cruise, you
I'm
gotta
so
bounce 'em.
sleepy, I want to be asleep. No,
Walk
they're like,
around,
I'm
watch
fighting
them.
it as much as I
Walk
possibly
around,
can.
yeah,
Right.
swing the car
Like,
seat back
yeah.
and forth,
so
just
we're
like
we're walking and kind of rocking at the same time, kind of bouncing the stroller. I would do that anyways. Loving
No,
mother.
She's a
Makes
good
sense.
parent,
Yeah.
Jenny.
I just
So,
put her
but
under a
we-
tree and
but
played soccer with some
Jeremy and
Mexicans.
I were talking about tummy time because she was not wanting to go to sleep, and we're like, okay, so tummy time is kind of the worst, right? And it's like it's kind of like being in prison, like that tummy
Seems
time.
like-
that
like
was
working
hard
out in the
time,
yard.
Man, that was hard time.
Yeah.
We did my tummy time.
You don't know nothing about no tummy time. That change you.
Can
You
we
don't come
see
back
that
from tummy
conversation
time.
between two tummy time prisoners?
oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, bro. Dude, did you have to go to tummy time today?
Man, that tummy time was the roughest thing I've ever done in my life.
Oh, shit. No, you had to do tummy time.
Yeah.
I did tummy time yesterday. They made me do 5 minutes
No.
on my stomach. It was the worst.
The worst. No, I'm in solitary tummy time.
No way. What?
Bitch, please. It was the worst.
No.
Like, everybody else is getting to do group tummy time.
Yeah.
I'm in solitary. No.
Oh, man, that's so lonely, bitch.
This is wildly
that baby
inappropriate,
ass.
Brian.
I see
All
that
right,
baby.
inmates, it's tummy time. Everyone down.
Oh, shit. No, I hate this
That
guard.
jerk. Yeah.
Kiss the floor.
5-minute tummy time now.
Tummy time.
Dude, maybe if we scream as loud as we can, they'll pick us up.
You want to try it?
Let's go for it.
All right.
That's right. Pain is weakness leaving the body.
Pain don't hurt.
So tummy time is loads of fun, apparently.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
like it's hilarious how much children hate it. But it's like we said, it's a developmental milestone.
It's like eating vegetables.
It's eating
and
vegetables.
yeah.
Necessary.
It's
and
like
also-
sticking a key in a socket. Like it's something you just gotta do,
Like,
and
if your
you
baby-
learn from it and move on.
If your baby can't poop, what do? Put them on their belly. Seriously, stick them on tummy time for 5 minutes. They're gonna poop.
Yeah.
That's what I
Or
do
maybe
when I
that's just
can't
my
poop.
baby. And
No,
that's, yeah.
ours required more
We did it
more
on the
drastic
back
measure.
And then doing the bicycle
Oh, the bicycle legs?
Yeah.
Bicycle
man.
legs?
Yeah.
And every now and then you had to, which resulted in poo confetti. You just
Yeah.
There it
My
goes.
daughter
Oh, man.
my daughter
Really
straight up
awful.
today, just side
Do
note.
you want to have a baby now?
I know. This
I
is
would
this
like
is-
to have all the babies.
all the babies.
All of them.
On that note, how do you deal with like health problems? Because like one thing I've learned is that whenever you like when you're working on a movie, it's not like when you schedule a doctor's appointment or something like that. If you're a key, like if you're a department head, it's not like you can be like, sorry guys, I can't come in. I got a doctor's appointment. Like you have to be there. So
But your children also need doctor's appointments,
Right.
and there's a lot of them at first.
right.
and
So,
well, luckily, like if I know about it ahead of time, like whenever I go in to interview for the position, I will be like, all right, cool, yeah, I'm totally jazzed. Let's do this, but my kid has a doctor's appointment this day,
From
so I'll have to miss
9:30
that
to
day,
10:30.
and I will have someone cover me. I'll have my best boy bump up to key, and I'll have to miss the first half of the day or whatever, and I'll have another guy come on so we won't be shorthanded, and hopefully it's a week or two in, so everybody's really firing on all cylinders. And we've gotten really fortunate in that Eliza is a very healthy. We haven't had a single ear infection. She's so healthy. No. We have this little, this little perfect human child. Like
Right.
she
I feel like
doesn't
you're
get
totally
sick.
jinxing everything that's happened so far.
She
And everything
sleeps
went
well,
downhill.
She eats well. She's the nicest. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. One day she's gonna kill us both in our sleep.
she is Stewie Griffin.
Her head's gonna slowly spin around. It's gonna just be like, well, yep, we should have saw this coming. But no, so like we're both pretty healthy. She's pretty healthy. So fortunately, other than pre-scheduled stuff, we haven't really had to deal with any like emergency last minute kind of stuff, have we?
I did have to leave set one day when our nanny had to deal with a crazy person at our front door.
That wasn't an illness. That was a our local
It was
maniac.
a crazy person. So I had to go and call the police while I'm working on an actress. And as soon as I finished her leave, which was only like 3 minutes, it was not like, an
2
hour
hours
long process
later.
or anything. I was like, and we're done here. And she's like, I understand, because she also had 2 kids at that time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna go now. I have someone to cover me, so I'm gonna go. And so I went and I left, and luckily we were only 1.5 miles away from our house at that point, and dealt with the police and talked to the babysitter. The baby was never awake. Eliza was never awake at this point, even though the dog was barking
nice.
and all this stuff. So she was out, gave all the information and made sure everything was locked down, like as much as possible. And then I came back to work. Everything was fine. There was nothing that ever happened, but it was just a little freak out that I felt very vulnerable for.
Right.
I was like, I'm at work. Are
Right.
you serious?
Yeah.
It's like 9:30 at night or 10. I can't even remember what time it was, but it was like, nothing should be happening right now, but I now have to leave my place of work to go deal with personal stuff and then come back to work for another 6 hours.
See, I'm still trying to figure out how to balance it, because like when you're, I think part of it might just be my department. Like when you're a sound mixer, like even if you have a boom operator, it's really hard to, your boom operator can't exactly cover for you. Like there's one dude and only one dude that can do that job, and finding somebody to cover for you is really, really hard. So I don't know. I haven't figured out the secret formula yet.
It's
That-
hard.
that
It's
is
hard.
hard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I trade off with, while I was pregnant, Aaron would come to a few of my doctor's appointments, but we kind of got, second kid, it's like routine. Like you go in and I know that like he's going to touch around and be like, okay, your kid's good. So he didn't need to come to those, but like, we've had a lot of, my son has a lot of ear infections. We've had tons of ear infections and now we're thinking tubes. So, there are things I want to include him on, but he has to come all the way from downtown. He's got a schedule that the work is work and he has to do the work no matter when. It doesn't matter. Like the work has to get done. So
Aaron's life is very similar.
It
to
is.
What
Like,
exactly does he do again?
He's an auditor. He works for a Big Four auditing firm. So, he's able to give an hour or two, but that means that later on at night, he has to make up for those couple hours. Like, he can't just, like, it's not like let me take a few hours off and I'll come back to it tomorrow type thing. Right. So it's a hard balance, and I've struggled with it because, you add another kid, and my doctor literally told me, just if you guys are interested in having another baby, FYI, my son was perfectly healthy until he was about 2 years old, and then we had a second child, and my pediatrician was like, oh yeah, by the way, both kids are going to get sick a lot more now. And I'm like,
Pass
why
it
is
back
that?
and
Yeah,
forth.
and it's because
That's
they
a nice
literally
best-kept
just
secret.
pass it. Yeah, they pass it back and forth, and then you guys also get it. So I've been sick with whatever, and Aaron gets it. We just pass it around the family back and forth, and then you all of a sudden sanitize all your toys and all that stuff. But it's such a, like, your kid needs you, so it's like you can't. I don't know. It's such a hard
can't not
thing,
be
right?
there.
Yeah. Like last week we were doing a podcast, and my mom. I'm lucky enough to have my mom come and watch my kids a lot because she lives 45 minutes away, and Coraline is all of a sudden literally out of nowhere, just puking stuff up. I don't know why, but she's just puking stuff up because she is.
Those are
and
fun.
yeah, and so my mom was like, okay, it's fine. I've got this. If she pukes 6 more times, I'm going to call you. And so she's like, go ahead, go to the podcast. But if I call you, you have to come home.
Yeah.
And this is in Norman, so I'm like, okay, I've got the car seats in my car, and I told Brian before we even did the podcast, by the way, my kids are sick, so if I have to leave, I've just got to go.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I found that is like the biggest thing, especially on features. It's just like, okay, here's the deal. I've got this appointment and this appointment and this
Yeah.
appointment, but I also have a kid. And so
Yeah.
like it could be at any time.
life-
I could, like, one of us could have to split, and it's going to depend on, like, it's a huge day with tons of background and like all this just crazy stuff. So she can't leave. She is mostly a department of
only
one,
person, yeah.
maybe 1.5. Like if she gets another person for that day, I am generally a department of at least 4. Right. So if I have to leave, it might be kind of hard, but it's hard on 3 other people and not hard on no one else. Like it doesn't just halt production. So like I do definitely find just letting people know ahead of time is huge.
That's-
Unfortunately,
yeah, planning.
we haven't had to call that favor in. I went and did a pilot for a TV show in Arkansas the week before Eliza was born, and I was just like, all right, so just so y'all know, if I get a
If I
call
have a
from
baby,
Shelly that we're having a baby, there's not. Yeah, I'm not
It's a
gonna.
wrap.
I'm leaving
On
the
grip
immediately.
crew.
I'm not gonna finish the day. I'm leaving
one.
right then.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that. So it's just I find that just letting people know ahead of time.
And they
seems
all
usually-
tend to either have kids or
Right.
be married.
I was gonna
or
say, can I just say it's the
know
best thing to
what's
be in the
happening.
parent club
Yeah.
because everyone totally gets
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like if you're like
Yeah.
you call in, like I've got play dates scheduled all week long. We've got stuff going on, and I'm like, hey, kid's sick. No questions asked. They're like, it's good.
Yeah.
Like
They don't
get
want
it.
their kids to get sick
How
either.
that translates to the no kids club. We're like, oh, that poor thing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
man.
Are they telling the truth?
How are
I
they
think
not
they're
here
telling
right
the
now?
truth.
I think they're going home and
I
getting
think
drunk.
I think they're actually just they don't want to come.
Right.
No, and it's like, and then like
They're
we're,
just
like
day
holding
drunk
a
with their
tired.
babies
straight up
right now.
vomiting child like screaming, and they're like I don't think they want to be here, and I'm like yeah, it's parents club. It's nice, but
And
Seems
even
like, well, I was
just it's just super quick
Yeah.
before we move on. Like I remember whenever I was first starting in this, it was just like, okay, when a movie's on, that's the only thing that matters for that month.
Right.
Nothing else matters. And the further I've gotten into this, like I don't know if there's listeners that are just breaking in, like it's not the only thing that matters. Like there's always a way to, if something huge comes up, like you can
just
get
hits
yourself
me.
covered. Like there are more important things in the movie you're working on.
Like
there always
birthdays
are.
and
A sick grandparent or a kid or a dog that needs to go to the vet or whatever.
Or a
like-
lonely wife.
Well, anniversaries aren't that big of a deal.
lonely sad
I
wives
haven't
who
missed an
are
anniversary, have I?
feeling a little.
Did you miss it, dude?
He missed a birthday or 3.
Oh,
Boo!
We've
Well,
come to the portion of the
nothing
night
of
where
the
we make
sort.
Brian
I've-
feel guilty.
I've worked my last
do
4
this.
birthdays, so I
Right.
don't feel that bad for you. My birthday always falls right in the middle of a movie, and I'm just like, well, I mean, it's fun because we get to throw a party, but I still have to go to work the next day. So it's not like everybody's
my
like,
birthday
oh,
was
you
in
passed out at 10 o'clock last
Right.
time. I'm like, yeah,
I had the best.
37.
I'm actually kind of curious. Like whenever the men are out bringing home the bacon, and we have to leave you at home for like weeks at a time, and life is very difficult. Like, what can you kind of pull back the curtain and take us on a girls' night? Like, what's the home
So
like?
a typical night without Brian, whenever he's on set, I call up my boyfriend, Devontae.
Ooh.
He usually books...
Can we do this? Can we do this as a scene?
that better not be
though?
my
Can y'all
Devontae.
play it out as
Yeah,
a
let's
scene?
play it out. I'll come over. I'll just be. You call me over, right? Like I'm coming over here. I'll hang out.
Oh my goodness, I love having the house to myself.
It's so nice.
I think I'm going to put on some Parks and Rec. Pop open some wine.
Oh my goodness. that
You
sounds
know
like,
what tonight needs?
wine and horror films.
No. I think...
It needs Devontae. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Devontae, I was just about to call you. Your ears must have been burning.
Do you just have him on call, like just like that? Whenever Brian's gone, you just
He
like,
lives in my closet. I feed him a bucket of fish heads every week.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have to pay him. Wow.
Fish heads are delicious.
They're pescatarian.
That means vegetarian,
that's
right?
Like a basic night whenever I'm gone, huh?
That's
Oh,
how it
yeah.
goes?
No, a typical night whenever you're gone, seriously, like, I get a little bored. I watch some Netflix, but then I remember that I have the bed to myself.
Right.
And then I'm like, thank you, God.
dude. Okay, so when Aaron has busy season, so I've had 3 busy seasons without kids, and now 2 with children. And the busy season is his auditing season, so he's like literally gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget how much I like to not be touched.
Yep.
Straight up, like I'm in bed and there's no one touching me. There's no sounds being made, no
Yep.
farts being blown under the covers.
Well, see, I'm usually the one who farts, so...
I also am that.
I
but
can fart
I'm usually
freely.
asleep.
Oh.
I
You
don't
can just
even
fart
notice.
whenever you want
Yeah.
and don't
Yeah.
even.
Oh.
I do
We have
warn
stories.
him when there's farts coming or have happened.
I blame it on the kid now. Because my daughter farts like a grown
I just
man.
farted.
Yeah, my daughter farts like a grown man, so I'm like, it was Coraline. He's like, I know Coraline's fart smell. That was you. I'm like, that's how you know you've been married long
She's
enough.
not even in the room.
All right, so I've got one final question.
Please let it be about
You don't want to talk about girls' night
missed the-
anymore?
I draw the
Genesis
line
of
at
that.
farts.
You know, that was girls' night. Was farts.
Right.
Right, I love
Farts
for
happened,
45
Brian.
second, it went from Delante or whatever to farts.
Duante.
Oh, I'm sorry, Duante. I didn't mean
So
to
we
offend
fart
Duante
and
by
we shave
forgetting
our
the
mustache.
pronunciation
We
of
shave our
his name.
mustaches and we talk about how we don't like to be touched. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure you've had kids.
And it's like the
I
exact
get over
opposite of a
touched
guy's night out.
during the day
What?
by my son.
It's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
We
just
don't
so
shave.
lovely.
They're
And
We
it's
like
so
being
lovely.
touched.
It's so
Yeah.
lovely, and lovey
So
is great.
by
And
about
we do
also,
not like
you just need to,
Duante
like-
showing up.
I need
No,
to
no.
not be touched.
Don't touch me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no,
And don't talk to me, and just watch Game of Thrones.
Just watch Game of Thrones while I'm not touched.
yeah.
Thank you.
And after, whatever. But don't
Yeah,
touch me.
but don't touch me for a certain amount of time. Exactly.
It does
So-
happen.
Final
Love
question.
you.
Yeah.
What
Right.
what advice, to the person who is thinking, I want to get into film, but in the back of his head, I want to start a family. What advice would you give someone who wants to do that, who wants to work in film, but also wants to be a human being and have a kid and have a wife and,
Yeah.
not have a horrible
An outside
relationship?
life. Yeah, exactly.
It's not horrible.
Yeah, I would say just do that then. I mean, like
Just-
it takes more work for sure. Like it definitely takes a support system. Like invest in a
Do you
support system,
pick-
be it financially or like
If you have parents or family or
grandparents
friends.
and aunts. Like
Yeah.
my sister is watching our kid right now, so we can come do this. Like lean on your support system really as hard as they'll allow because you need it. Like it's.
I mean, you can't pick one or the other, but would you say it was easier to start single and then work up to married and having a child than starting being either married
Going
or having a child
full-blown.
and then getting into the film?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously, we did it by starting out single and getting used to the job side of it first, and then having the family. But I feel like Casey Crowdis has 2 or 3 kids and has been able to jump into the film industry because he's gotten used to the family side first. So maybe it's get used to one before you dive into the other. Maybe don't try to start both at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely
That could be too much kind of learning curve for anyone really.
have a baby and
Supports-
start a film at the exact same time.
Support would be damned. Yeah.
So
And
whenever
then
the
see
movie
what
wraps, the baby's coming.
happens.
Well,
Yeah.
and wouldn't you guys
Wrap party.
say that
Wrap party, baby shower.
Yeah.
as you if you start out single and you get married and have kids, like your desires kind of do change. Like you have, you're still invested, but you're able to be present in multiple moments. So like you're working and you're present in that moment, but then you go home and you're able to invest and be present with your wife or with your spouse, and then you're present with your children. It's kind of like a focus. Like you're able to focus on multiple things and not multitask, but I don't know.
Sort of compartmentalize.
compartmentalize,
Yeah,
right.
work is work,
Work
home
is
is
work,
home,
home's home,
kid
exactly.
is kid.
But you know what?
Poop is poop.
We have a film family. And so being in Oklahoma and doing film and having a family, it's all kind of combined. So the people we go to work with for 12 to 14 hours to 16 to sometimes 20 to 22 hours a day are our family. And then when we have baby showers, wedding showers, actual weddings, or, birthdays, we call on those people that we work with and that we see so much during a 5 to 7 to 9 week period, and they're there. And so they know our kid, they know who we are, separate and together and as a family. And it's just amazing to be in that sort of a community.
Yeah.
I just want to throw some props out to Lainey and Brian. When I first had Oliver, they threw a baby shower at their house for me.
The dude shower.
It was a dude
was
shower.
awesome.
It was
Shower.
a beer and diapers shower,
Yeah,
and
we
Lainey
had one
made
of
a
those.
cake.
Yeah.
Those are great.
And it said whore on it, and it was awesome because I was.
whore?
It
We
said
pinned
whore.
the wiener on the baby.
Like
Whore.
horror as like you're as a horror
Like,
or
Obvi, you had sex. Like, you're a whore.
Not like horror film. Like
no, like
Right.
whore.
a big shout out to
Hooah.
Brittany Tremblay who helped me cut out
Yes.
little penises for an hour.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was it was the most beautiful cake I think I've ever seen, and
What?
I ate it and I loved it, and I was pregnant, and it was the best.
what baby shower were we at that they had like the hand sticking out?
No, that was just a picture I showed you. At Mikey and Carrie's, some friends of ours
Yes.
had a baby shower that had the a pregnant woman laying on the table with her feet up in the stirrups, and instead of a baby, it was a xenomorph from Aliens poking out of her belly.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So that was pretty scary / awesome. But that was after I already had a baby, so I didn't have to worry about it again.
That's awesome. But back to the question, like you do, it's I would just say like support systems are so vital at home. And then Shelly brought up a good point of them being at work. I mean, even, having people around who understand, if you're just like, my kid's sick, and, you just need kind of somebody to talk to at work about that, just kind of let off some steam. It's great that we have friends that will just kind of let us piss and moan about not seeing our kid,
Or
we're
brag.
on the road we're on the,
because she's amazing.
Also
and
true.
We're not LA, and
Right.
we're not New Orleans, and we're not Atlanta, but we have a great community here. And we are part of Oklahoma and Texas Union or whatever and all that stuff. But, we all know each other.
Oh, yeah.
And if something happens, you have someone you can call. You have someone you can call.
I feel like that's kind of unique to Oklahoma. That's one of
it's
the
very
big
unique.
benefits.
And, we are super lucky
yeah.
to be in the position that we are here.
And I feel like if something happened if you guys had kids and you were the mixer and you had to take
Bounce for
off to
some
go
reason,
take
yeah.
care of your kid, like somebody would step and be like, some PA would be like, I'll hold the boom while that guy,
Right.
while your boom mixes
tell
or
me
whatever.
what to do,
yeah,
and I
people,
will do it.
there's definitely a community, just like when.
Not saying that boom is not important, but that
Or-
somebody
or
would step in
different.
and like, just tell
But yeah,
me what to
someone
do.
would
back
give
to
it a
Jurassic
shot.
Park. Life will find a way.
Life will find a way.
Life will find a way.
And the I don't know, just like we do when a tornado happens, like the community, there's a sense of community happens here that where, if somebody has to leave, we will fill that gap.
Yeah.
Somebody will come along and
And Lainey, if you're home alone pregnant, I'll come over and I will give you so much pregnant food and talk to you and bring my children over.
and
just-
laugh at
I will bring
pregnancy
Eliza.
brain.
You can just take her for a long time.
Just bask in pregnancy brain. Not
She'll
even
be my
laugh.
guinea
Does
pig.
that help if I just give you our baby?
Yes.
Just soak in that pregnancy brain.
Well, I think it's time for some Kelly's Corner.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Have
You guys are
we
gonna.
have a theme song yet?
We don't have a theme song yet, but
like
I was like,
Kelly's Corner. Yeah.
Corner.
where I talk about kids and stuff they do. I don't know.
And there's poop and pee, and it's not from you. I don't know.
Yeah, but so this Kelly's Corner is about vomit, and I say that just it's something I love about children. I know that sounds weird. No, I know, and you guys are gonna, but you'll get it. Okay, so well, first off, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to make you.
I say that
vomit.
every
You don't tell
Saturday.
me what to do, Lainey.
I don't understand.
I wish you guys could have seen her. There was something happening over
She's
there.
about to vomit.
That was.
It was wine.
No, but I don't get how kids can just so casually throw up. Like, it does not faze them. They are literally doing what they're doing, whether it's whatever they're doing, then they just vomit and continue with their lives. And to me, that is vomiting is the worst thing that
That's
could
the
possibly
end
happen
of my
in
day.
hate
I'm done.
It will ruin
Done
my
for the
week.
rest of the day. I don't care if it
throw
happens at
up,
9 in the morning.
I'm done.
All in sort of orifices.
It is.
I feel like that's the word.
Yeah.
Orifici.
Yes.
Orifices.
Orifices.
Yeah.
I-
It's just all up in there.
It's all in there, all out, and just it's always so projectile. Or my other favorite is just they're just sitting there casually being a fat little cute baby sitting up, and they just and it just flows
It just kind
down.
of rolls out. Just
Waterfall.
Yeah,
lava.
or
over all their cute clothes that we just got them. Yeah.
Right, you just dress them, and you know that outfit is the cutest, and you're getting ready to take them out of the house, and then they vomit on it, and it's almost
They did it on
sometimes
purpose.
personal. I think it's personal. I seriously, I'm like,
They hate
you
their
did that.
parents.
Yeah.
So, Oliver had his first stomach virus. He's my 2-year-old, and it was he would just be playing with. He's in this stage of kind of imaginative play where he's talking about this car says this car says this, and literally I walk in the room and he's and he's really into the movie Cars. So Lightning McQueen. What are you? And he just starts vomiting, and and then he vomits, and then he just picks up right where he left off. what did you say, Chick Hicks? Blah, 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 and like continues on, like no big deal. And then later
nothing
on,
happened.
he like looks down. Yeah, he's like, Mama, what's that? And I'm like, you just puked, son. And he's like,
kid's
no,
gonna be
I
a great
didn't. And he like
alcoholic
denied
someday.
it. Like he's like, no, I didn't
bulimic.
do that.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
What if,
champion
like,
bulimic.
I wish that we as adults could just vomit as casually as babies and like life would just go on.
No.
No,
we
yeah,
I was at
careful
a
what you
club
wish
the
for.
other day.
No,
and
no,
I
New
saw
Orleans
it.
is just like, stop saying that. Stop right now.
I haven't been
Crickets
there.
in a field.
I saw this
Cities.
guy
No, please.
talking to a girl, hand up against the wall, all smooth and shit. Seriously, just like in the middle of a sentence, turned his head towards the wall, puked up a little bit, wiped his mouth, went back to talking to her. She had no fucking
That is
idea.
my son talking.
She had no idea.
Smooth dude.
Wow, so
Laura.
both of
I'm
them.
looking on in
Poor
horror.
girl.
Notice.
Like
Was
at
she
the
blind?
puke
Down
puddle.
Are you
to a
sure she
skill.
could see?
Wow.
So
Okay.
this guy.
So I
Yeah.
feel like we have the opposite child where she like coughs up a little bit, or we walked into the bathroom where her tiny little potty is.
Right,
So
yes.
she's trying to
yeah.
potty train or whatever. And so the cat had peed on a rug. And I was like,
Bastard.
damn it, cat! I
It's
know.
my cat,
was
so I can call him a bastard.
Damn it,
Gus
cat!
is a
You peed on the
shiz.
rug, and she starts bawling. And she's like, and like just like starts crying, thinking that she did it.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, you didn't do it. The cat did it. And I'm like,
Best kid ever.
And then, but for the
sorry,
rest of the day, whenever she saw Gus, she would say, Gus peed on the rug. Every time she saw the cat, she just kept narking him out the
That's
rest of the
right.
day.
Kids,
Gus,
kids
Yeah.
will
rug,
Oh.
tell
Yeah.
on you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you do shit, they will tell.
oh,
will.
and so we
That's
told her,
fantastic.
that they can't be up on like
Oh,
the
yeah.
counter or the table. And she's like, she sees them jump up there, and she's like, no, 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 no.
You'll
cat
hear this
off, cat off.
shouting from the other end of the house and walk in. And she's
No,
just in the
Gus,
kitchen
no, Gus,
pointing
no,
at a
Gus.
cat on the counter and be like, no!
The cat.
So she's a big old tattletale.
So you know the cat's just sitting up there like, yeah, the cat's just like, they
We
had
haven't
this
taught her
kid.
that word yet.
Oh, yeah.
She does not know bastard. She knows
knows-
shit
Yeah.
and fuck.
Yeah,
But not
that
bastard.
happens.
Sits in on enough Game of Thrones episodes.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a totally separate thing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, how do I can't, I don't even have time to watch bad shows anymore, and it's depressing. Like I wait till bedtime, and then I can get my Game of Thrones in. But then they cry, and I'm like, oh shit, oh can't say that, oh balls, oh wait, can't say that. Gotta change my curse words.
Fucking shit balls.
Hey,
Cheese
speaking of
and
games,
crackers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
You wanna play
cheeseburgers
some
and vomit.
Crackers?
Cheese and crackers, yeah. P.S. If anyone is interested in watching babies casually vomit, literally Google that. It's a video, a YouTube
No.
clip of babies
You should not do
casually
that.
Who wants
vomiting.
to watch that?
Do
if you're at home
not
going like,
do
yeah,
that.
I think I'll check that out, you're wrong. Don't.
It's hilarious.
wrong.
I
No.
laughed for like 3 minutes
Warning,
straight.
don't do that.
Just go to church or something. I don't know. Just you need Jesus.
I laughed so hard, and I was like, this would be the perfect thing for Brian and Lainey to be like, you know what? I want kids. Oh, wait, I don't.
Or like,
What is it?
This
The
whole
Omen?
episode has
Or
just
what is
been
that
one
movie?
long birth control.
The Exorcist.
Watch The Exorcist.
Watch The
That's like
Exorcist.
I also-
babies vomiting. That's how it is.
I feel like that could be like parental rickrolling. Like just slide
Yeah.
that into a video somewhere,
Blah, blah,
like a
blah.
PowerPoint
Babies
presentation.
casually
It's like,
vomiting.
so last month, here's our numbers, and it was very blah.
Well,
And everything was great.
spoiler alert.
Also, babies are awesome.
Oh, babies are amazing, but at the end of this video, just FYI, it turns from babies casually vomiting to babies vomiting in people's mouths, which has happened to me, and you know it has happened to everyone.
Okay.
Everyone has gotten their mouth spit up in. Come on.
I've not gotten
Nope.
the mouth.
Nope.
I got poo in my mouth.
Okay.
Once. The way it worked. Okay.
Some excrement has
Here's-
gone in your mouth from a baby.
Here's what happened, and this was totally my fault. So I'm scrambling to leave. She's maybe 4 or 5 months old, and we're like scrambling to get out of the house. It was just me and the kid, and she pooped like they do.
Right.
And so I'm like, change the diaper real fast, and I get her diaper changed, get her clothes back on her, get her loaded in the car. We're pulling out of the driveway. I go to get on the road, and I'm like, oh, what's that on my finger? Oh, I just lick it off.
You
I'm
had
like,
to lick it?
Surely, yeah. I was just, I'm
'Cause
driving
surely
with
it
this
was
hand, so I'm
chocolate.
just like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and
Surely it
lick
was
this off.
chocolate.
No,
It was-
it didn't. That was some
Oh no!
poo tasting chocolate. It
Laney,
tastes
we
like
will
poo.
never
What do you think it
have
tasted
children.
like?
We are
but
sleeping in separate beds for the rest of our lives.
you go home and saws all the bed in half, slide them
Never
3
again.
feet apart.
If you
the
even
same room,
look
the Holy
at
Ghost
me,
in there.
No one's gonna ever have a kid.
why don't
So-
we schedule a vasectomy tomorrow?
Ah, perfect. Yeah.
Kids
Yeah.
are awesome.
About you, Ty?
Well, let's keep throwing that in though. Kids are
They are great,
amazing. They're
and
amazing.
it really is
Miracles, they're
remarkable
just
the their recovery time from
Oh.
stuff like, I mean, she's maybe a little bit bipolar, but like she'll just
Whatever.
be screaming her head off and losing her mind, and then 2 minutes later, like if you just get her to take a breath, she's just happy
So
and she's
happy.
giggling and she just wants to go chase the cat now.
Oh
or
my
something.
goodness! I can
it's-
like be like my toddler's throwing a tantrum, and then all of a sudden I just tickle him, and he's like,
Yeah,
and
just-
he loves me so much.
you just have to distract
Adults
him.
The
could
other
be like
day,
that.
I was feeding Finn.
Next time you're crying, Brian, I will tickle you. If you
Perfect. That's all I need, man.
Deal.
No, I was feeding Finn, and he was throwing the biggest like bitch fit
Right, yeah,
in the
as they
entire
do.
world. But then I accidentally burped.
What you did?
Yes,
Oh.
I was like, Finn. You would have thought that it was the greatest thing in the world to him. Immediately from crying to
See, you guys are gonna have a son, and he's gonna crack the f up
If
at
we have a
everything you
child-
do.
No, he's gonna turn out to be an accountant or something
Oh, well,
weird
hey,
like
hey,
that.
hey, my husband's an accountant.
Oh,
My husband is an accountant.
I didn't do it.
And I will just say I love you very much, Aaron. Thank you for paying my bills.
Hey, what kind of games do we have on the docket today?
Okay, so we're going to play a game called Catchphrase. So basically, 2 people in the scene are given sentences, and they only have 2 sentences. They are allowed to say the entire scene, and they don't have to say them, one after another. But they can only say those 2 sentences, and whoever else is in the scene has to justify why they're saying what they're saying or continue the scene somehow. So
All right,
super
we're
fun.
gonna
This is gonna be
We're gonna
awesome.
look up
Dialects
our
or-
suggestions.
Incorporate whatever you want. Yes.
Okay, so the location is a funeral parlor,
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
and the relationship is ghost and a haunted person. So,
Okay.
so I think Kelly, you should play the haunted person, shouldn't you?
Of course.
And
Okay, and then
so we're the ghosts.
And I think Shelly and Jeremy will be 2 ghosts that are haunting this funeral parlor, and I'll be a possible walk-on. Lainey, you'll be a possible walk-on if you
Okay.
feel something. All right, so here we go. This is our first round of catchphrase ever on the Okie Show. In 3, 2, 1.
Just so sad. I miss you so much.
Life finds a way.
It really does find a way. Wait, where did that come from? Oh my goodness, I must be like speaking aloud my own thoughts. Life does find a way. I just
Life finds a way.
thank you myself.
This is giving me the vapors.
Okay, that was not me. And I'm definitely creeped out now. Grandpa, you're not alive still, are you? Because I've heard about people
It's
being.
Tommy Tom, bitch.
Oh my goodness! I don't even know what that means, Grandpa. I've heard about people being buried alive, and I need you to talk to me right now. If you're still alive, I need you to tell me, and I will save you.
You can't because you hit the cat.
What? How did you know that? I didn't tell
Life.
anybody.
Life finds a way.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Ma'am?
Yeah,
Are you okay? You're just in here kind of talking to yourself and shit.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself? No, there are 2 people, or at least my grandpa, speaking to me. I thought it was myself and my
Girl.
grandpa having like an internal monologue.
He ain't talking to you. He's dead.
This is giving me the vapors.
Oh my, you didn't hear that? Something about vapors? It's giving him the vapors? I don't know. Like, and he said tummy time earlier.
It's tummy time, bitch, is
What?
what I said.
Listen, I have a remedy for you. This is a very tough time.
No,
Okay.
you can't. You hit the cat.
You hit the cat. You hit the cat? Also hit the cat.
Listen, whenever you're going through a tough time like this, you just hit the cat however you need to, okay?
Is that
Life-
some sort of sexual term? I mean, I actually
got-
physically ran over
We
the
have
cat.
a special room for hitting the cat.
So this is giving me the vapors.
It really is, Grandpa. You're right. I'm sorry. You have a room where I can literally physically beat a cat?
Hit the cat, drain the lizard, whatever you need.
Wait, no, that's 2 different things. Are you wanting me to pee? I don't know.
Excuse me, is this the funeral home that Mr. Wilfred Bingleberry was just
Wilfie's dead.
Life finds a way.
What was that? What did you say?
Life finds a way. I didn't say it, but I think my head is like vocalizing it. I don't.
Well, I was just here a couple hours ago doing maintenance, and I think I may have forgotten something. Is it okay if I just poke around a little bit?
You can't because you hit the cat.
Excuse me?
I said. I didn't actually say anything. I think my grandpa's haunting me.
Well, I think I left my radio back here. Let me just kind of poke around a little bit.
It's Tommy time, bitch.
Oh, there it is. My tape recorder. Perfect.
Oh, that was you? Oh, I'm so thankful because seriously, I didn't understand what my grandpa was talking about being on his stomach, and I was really worried that he was like alive. It's tummy time, bitch. Is that like some sort of intro to a rap song? I feel like that, like,
Well, luckily, I'm not just a maintenance guy. I'm also kind of a savant, and I can tell whenever someone is kind of haunting. And yeah, your grandpa's definitely still alive.
Oh, wait, he's alive or he's haunting me?
Okay, bye.
Life finds
giving
a
me
way.
the vapors.
Okay, just to clarify this, is a savant like
Nope.
a psychic or is that an autistic?
That was the right word. I was gonna let it go, but inside I'm like,
I watched a documentary on savants. It's pretty interesting.
Psychic or something? I think it was.
A savant is like Rain Man. Okay,
Right.
so
So I'm a little autistic, so I know these.
So you hear like actors getting their best supporting actor or whatever Academy Award, and they're like, I just really got to thank the writers for such beautiful material. This is giving me the vapors is literally one of my favorite lines. So Lane, thank you so much for giving me that. Anytime something just doesn't hit me quite right, I'm just like, it's giving me the vapors.
But just to let you know,
I figured what yours were. The only two
tummy
things
time,
you said.
It's tummy time, bitch.
just to let you guys know, he said that his. Like, whenever you were talking to your daughter, you were like, no, you can't do that because you hit the cat. I'm going to start saying that every day. You can't do that.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do that because you hit the cat.
Well, we're running a little short on time now, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show and
You're welcome.
sharing your life with us.
Thanks for having us.
And playing along and playing these games. This is super, super fun.
Yeah.
Shelly, can you give us a little plug for where we can find you online and your shop and all that jazz?
Oh, fuck.
So go to thekids.com.
This is a commercial.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook.
Aren't we all?
Times for Shelly Dapolito. There's Shelly Hairstylist.
Spell your last name because it's a mouthful.
Yeah. Okay, so D apostrophe capital A Polito. So Shelly
You're welcome.
Shelly Dapolito hairstylist.
I feel your pain. My last name's Gilliland, so good luck with that.
Yeah.
Then
too many
there's
L's.
the Barbary for my shop. And then also I have a website called shellydap.com. It's wildly behind the times. I haven't updated it in a long time, but it's there and has pictures and some sort of bio. I'm sure.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
I
like an
just wanna
expanded MySpace page, pretty much.
Also, the Barbary in Norman?
The Barbary in Norman. That's on Campus Corner, isn't it?
Yeah. The BarbaryNorman.com. I'm just assuming that's what it is. I can't remember because it's been a whole year since I set that up. So find me at one of those places.
And Jeremy, where can we find you online?
I am most commonly on Instagram. I have a Facebook, but I don't mess with it. It's mean_scary_grip is my Instagram handle. If you care to see pictures of my daughter and my dog, which is mostly what it is every now and again.
And you post some set pictures every once
I
in a
do.
while, which is fun because usually we're on the same set whenever we're both posting Instagram
I've
pictures.
posted a couple pictures of you. I think you've posted a couple pictures of me.
Yeah.
The drag is like I'm really post-worthy stuff happens kind of infrequently on set, like because it's mostly the movies. You do movies 3 months out of the year, and the other 9 months out of the year, I'm farting around. I'm taking pictures of my cat
Lots of
cast a
cats
cool
and
shadow
dogs.
on that wall, so I
Yeah.
took a picture of that and posted that because I was bored, whatever. So it's kind of it's really hit or miss as to whether you're going to get a kid, a cat, or actually something relevant to set. But
a kid, a cat, or a set.
Mine are all kid.
well, and sometimes there's kid on set. There hasn't been cat on set yet, but there has been kid on set,
There's
which
been
is
dog on
which
set.
is fun. There has been dog
Ah,
on set.
yes.
Yeah. Ludo made it to set one time. So that's the best way to find me. I don't have a website. IMDb, if you
There you
care
go.
what movies
Yeah.
I've worked on, which
Yeah, I
you
mean-
shouldn't.
Monday at 11:01 a.m. It's a winner.
That's the
It's
one,
so,
man.
It's so good.
It's the one I'm going to hang my head on. It's what I'm going to show the
Or
grandkids.
Rat
Oklahoma's
Apocalypse.
The Room.
Rat-pocalypse.
Rat-pocalypse. I think that one, if they actually release it in 3D, that's
Right.
what's going to be like the coup d'etat on that one. We shot it in 3D, and so good.
I don't know what coup d'etat means, but it's only going to be like maybe a third in a 3D.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Right.
Because they
Also,
kept
Jeez,
I think
that
I might have used coup
was
d'etat.
messing it
a
up.
movie. And then Kelly, where can we find you online?
Yeah, Kelly Lawson. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. K_law 18. I think. I don't exactly know. I don't tweet that much, but if I do, it's usually about something weird my kids said. But keep up with Kelly's Corner because there's more coming.
Damn
Boom.
right.
We're gonna get
Kids-
a website set up for you.
Yeah,
And
Kids
then
say
Lainey,
lots of weird shit.
kids say lots of weird shit.
and Lainey, you're on Instagram and all sorts of stuff.
I don't want people finding me.
She's off the
alrighty
grid,
then.
Brian.
And of course, you can
Try to find me.
and you can follow the Okie Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, just at Okie Show. And we will see you guys in the next 2 weeks, guys. Thank you.
Thank
to
you.
the
Yay.
Doppolitos
Bye,
for coming
everybody.
on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
Okie Show.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.